What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, Dmo's Diecast. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Shout out to all of our returning viewers and subscribers. Thank you. And welcome to any first-time viewers or new subscribers to the channel. Welcome. Today we will be reviewing and also debuting a new diorama that we picked up. This is kind of like a basic diorama. It's just some paper. And then these are like paper cutouts, so are the walls with perforated lines that you fold along and then glue everything together. So it's kind of basic, but it's pretty cool. Just a little used car lot. So you got the building over there, and then your little sign over here with a large parking lot. So I thought this would be the perfect thing to use for videos and stuff as a backdrop. But as you can see, we do have some Skyline set up in the back. First off, from the left to right, we have the MotorHelix Skyline V-Spec 2. We have a Mini GT Bayside Blue Skyline R34 V-Spec 2. We have the Jade Green Metallic V-Spec 2 NER. Then over here, we have a Tarmac Schuko collaboration with the R34 R-Tune, and then over here we have the ignition model CRS version. So that's going to lead us into today's video. Boom. MotorHelix 164 R34 CRS version. Picked this one up from James at Model Cars Houston. Again, if you guys haven't already, go check him out. Great site, great products, great pricing, and great customer service. Cannot go wrong with any orders from him. Boom. The MotorHelix Nismo R34 GTR Z-Tune. So this is going to be my first like true Z-Tune in a 164. Picked this one up off of Tokyo Station online, which is a website based out of Canada. So by the time I went to source this one from James, he was already sold out on Model Cars. So I did pick this up from Tokyo Station. A great site, and it takes a little bit longer for shipping, and shipping is a little bit more expensive since it's from Canada. But all in all, they do have a lot of great products. So let's not waste any more time. Get these out of the package. Take a closer look. Boom. There she is. Really nice. As you guys know, the last video that we did was a MotorHelix 118 scale in an R34 Nismo CRS version. So we're bringing it back this time in a 164. Again, this is the second Nismo CRS that I will have. The other is going to be the ignition back here. This one did come with a flaw. Unfortunately, the windshield fell out during shipment. I did contact Model Cars Houston. Unfortunately, they were sold out of this at the time when I contacted them. However, I do have some glue and stuff. Here's the windshield here. So after the video, I'll just be putting a couple dabs of glue, probably up here along the top and then down here along the bottom. And then we'll get that back in there and glued in, and we should be good to go. No issues. Let's go ahead and take a closer look. As we explained in the 118 scale video, the CRS version is the Clubman Racer spec. Again, this is built by Nismo at the Nismo factory. These are built to customer specifications, basically like a refresh program. Again, you can refresh any and all of the car if you want. If you just want to do undercarriage and paint, if you just want to do interior, you just want to do engine, you just want to do suspension, all of that stuff. You can pick and choose, or you can do a complete refresh, ground up rebuild, which is quite pricey, but well worth it. Right off the bat, I do notice that beautiful like pewter paint. We do get the Nismo LMGT4 wheels with the Nismo print there on the spoke. They did add the Z-Tune rear over fender on this model, which is really sick. One of very few 164s that actually add that on there. The door handle detail looks pretty good on this for a 164. Do get mirrors. They are rigid. There is some reflective on there. Z-Tune fenders on this one. This is probably the best version of Z-Tune fenders on a 164 that I've seen so far, so really nice there. You do get your Omari factory sticker there. Nice side marker detail along with your GT badge there. Z-Tune side skirts on this one as well with the Z-Tune rear pieces here. Take a look at this front. Same Nismo LMGT4 wheels on the front. Can't really see the caliper back there, but you can see the rotor. Z-Tune front bumper with the venting here on the side looks really good. Headlight fitment looks a little bit off from the side here. You can see a little bit of a gap down there on the bottom and then a little bit of a gap up here at the top. We'll go ahead and take a look at this from the front. Z-Tune front bumper. So the larger, wider vents down here for cooling on the front bumper. GTR badge there in the middle of the grille. So kind of tucked away, kind of behind there, not really visible. Intercooler is not visible on this model either. I guess you can see the Nismo print back there, but it's kind of tucked behind this mesh grille. Carbon fiber front lip there, so that's really, really nice. Great detail on that. Here's that fitment issue we were talking about with this headlight. A little bit of a gap down there at the bottom. Take a look at this base. Nissan Skyline GTR R34 Nismo CRS version. And this is a limited edition 1 out of 699. Take a look at the rear. Beautiful lensed up tail lights. Fitment and glue marks look good. You do get your GTR badge there, Nissan badge there, keyhole here, third brake light. Rear spoiler, you do get the carbon fiber upper. Really great detail on that rear windshield wiper as well as the rear defrosters. Going to get a Nismo license plate. You do get the Z-Tune rear diffuser with the tow hook there. Single exit modified exhaust. A little bit of depth and some black to make it look more realistic. On this side, you do get your reverse light, and then you get your rain/fog light over here. So good detail. I can see some tread on those tires as well. This is going to have the normal risers on the wing. These are not the high risers. So we'll go back to the front. MotorHelix does have opening engine bay. So beautiful carbon fiber intake box here like we saw on our 118 scale with the intercooler piping and charge pipes and whatnot. Here is the Z-Tune air box. So they did not give it the Z-Tune hood. So they don't have that little intake running along here that gets the fresh air from the front. But they did give it the carbon fiber box. You do get the Nismo strut bar there, which is beautiful. Radiator cap. Radiator fans here, reservoirs, fuse box. Looks like they did give the strut towers reinforced carbon fiber as well, so that's really sick. You can see the carbon fiber there and there. This is actually a great model. Again, this is not our first 164 MotorHelix. Our white V-Spec 2 back here is also a MotorHelix. Let's get this off the base. We'll do our roll test. Boom, so we got that off the base. Wheel gap looks like it should be a roller, but unfortunately, this is not going to be. So it does roll reluctantly. It's very, very tight. Yeah, so maybe possibly cracking some of those screws would help. But all in all, not too worried about it. Not going to go messing with it. A cool feature that I found when I went to get this off of the base was they actually gave us the CRS stickers. So we could put water slides on there, and then basically it would make it look like this version here. I did not realize that this came with those decals, so that was a pleasant surprise. Because we already have that one with the decals in the back, we're going to leave this one plain. But while we have this off the base, let's go ahead and take a look at that interior. So we get those same Nismo CRS seats that we got in the 118 scale. So you can see your Recaro print up here on the top, and then your lines with the red inserts, racing seats. Take a look at it from this side. Great interior detail. Look at all the center console detail. Shifter down there. You can see the ring below the shift knob. All the gauges, radio, heads-up display there. They did not give us any harnesses, it looks like. Let's take a look at the rear seats. So we get that same white insert that we had on the 118 as well. Move back around to the front to see if we can see anything we didn't notice before. Steering wheel detail looks really good, and you do get like a detailed gauge cluster back there as well. They did an excellent job on this one. Super happy to lock this one down. Let's go ahead and put this in the back. Next up, the Nismo R34 GTR Z-Tune. Let's get this out of the package, take a closer look. Boom. Beautiful. Thankfully, this one did show up intact. Windshield is in there. Everything is good to go. Take a quick look at this base before we get started. Nismo R34 GTR Z-Tune, limited edition, 1 of 699. So before we get started with the review, I'll kind of explain the differences here. There are 4 different versions of R34 GTRs built by Nismo. You have S-Tunes, R-Tune, Z-Tune, and CRS. So S-Tunes were like a street tune for S, basically. They were tuned to probably around 350 to 400 horsepower, mild build on the engine and suspension, nothing too crazy, more or less something that you could, that's streetable, that you could drive daily. Then you get into R-Tunes. R-Tunes are more of a race tune, and R-Tunes had upgraded motor and internals, upgraded suspension, and a few different things here and there. Then Nismo decided to do the Z-Tune, which is this guy here. Now, this would not be a true representation of a Z-Tune because there were only 19 Z-Tunes made, period. Nismo went out and searched for 19 of the cleanest R34s that they could find, owned by customers, right? So people own these cars. The requirements were basically a clean body, no rust, 30,000 kilometers or less. And what they did was they took those cars in and they gave them a full build, like crazy over the top, more so than an R-Tune. And so Z-Tunes got the 2.8 liter RB26, so the motor is stroked to a 2.8. They got reinforced carbon fiber chassis all underneath, inside of here, inside of the front, strut towers. Down here underneath they had an oil cooler, like a race oil cooler setup. They came with titanium exhaust, basically the baddest of the bad. However, when they were originally built, 18 of 19 were made in silver. So the cars were repainted, and I can't remember the color code for the silver. I'll post it up down here on the bottom, but they were all painted in silver. There was one customer who convinced Nissan to do his in Midnight Purple 3. So out of the original allotment of 19, 18 were done in silver, 1 was done in Midnight Purple 3. There was one customer who had a refresh done on his silver, and when he had his refresh done, he also was able to get Omari Factory to repaint the car Midnight Purple 3. So in existence, there's 19 Z-Tunes, 2 of which are Midnight Purple 3. The others are all silver. So black was never a color offered in a Z-Tune. However, if you had a Z-Tune built by them and you wanted to bring it back and refresh it, you could potentially be able to get them to paint it black. So that's the only unfortunate thing about this particular model, but it is my only Z-Tune. I will probably seek out a silver one as well. The detail on the car is going to be pretty much the same as we saw in the CRS. Your black Nismo LMGT4s, again, that Nismo decal there. Z-Tune side skirts, Z-Tune rear skirt. This one does have the Z-Tune rear over fender as well. So you can see that here. Interior wise, you can tell the difference. So the Z-Tune gets a red insert with the race seat. The rear seats also have a red insert. Mirrors on this one, reflective on there, so no issue there. You do not get the Omari Factory sticker like we saw on the CRS, but you do get a nice side marker and your GT badge down there. Same Z-Tune front bumper that we saw in the CRS. I'm interested to see if this one does have the airbox since it is an actual Z-Tune. Headlight fitment looks a little bit better on this one. No gap down here, a little bit of a gap there, but that's due to the opening hood. This side, same thing. Turn signals in the front look really good. Again, that Nismo intercooler is hidden behind this mesh grille. Do get a carbon fiber front lip there, and then we'll go to the rear. Taillights are missing like the amber in the center here, so that's kind of disappointing, but the fitment looks good. There's no glue marks or anything. GTR badge, keyhole, Nissan badge, third brake light. You do get the carbon fiber upper riser again on this one. Rear windshield wiper detail, again, beautiful. Rear defrosters, excellent. Z-Tune rear license plate on this one with your reverse light and your rear fog / rain light. Excellent exhaust detail, depth, painted black, looks beautiful. Nismo Z-Tune badging there on the rear. Let's get this one off the base. We'll do our roll test, and then we'll take a look at both of the MotorHelix undersides. Boom. There she is off the base. Again, a reluctant roller, but yeah, I wouldn't call this a roller. Definitely not a free roller like we have on some of our other models. Let's take a quick look underneath. So if you remember on our 118 scale, we did see the front under splitter. However, they have left off the Z-Tune rear diffuser on this, but the CRS version that we looked at does have the carbon fiber rear diffuser. The exhaust detail on this and undercarriage detail is outrageous. Again, your transmission, your transfer case, drive shaft, downpipes coming into your exhaust, H-pipe, and then out your muffler in the rear. And then we get the same detail on this guy here. The only major difference would be the engine bay. So let's take a look at the engine on this one. There is your air box, and they did not give us the Z-Tune hood. So a little bit disappointing on that. So you don't get the carbon fiber inlet box up here on the hood, but you do get the carbon fiber box down in here. Carbon fiber reinforced strut towers. You do get your Z-Tune strut bar. Again, these were specific to Z-Tune, so there's only 19 of these that exist. So if you ever had a Skyline and you wanted to find this, good luck. You would have to find someone who either wrecked a Z-Tune and it was totaled and they sold the parts off of it. But otherwise, those that are in good working order are not going to give that up. Intake manifold detail looks amazing. Your couplers here, couplers there. So you do get your Z2 engine. So spark plug cover does say Z2 right there. Oil cap detail, fuel rail. Really sick that they got that engine correct. Again, your reservoirs, fuse box, brake master cylinder up here. So all in all, really, really sick. We'll take a quick look at our other models. So this is the R34 V-Spec 2. So you're going to get stock wheels on this one. You don't have the Z-Tune side skirts or rear skirt, and don't get a carbon fiber front lip. They do have a front lip on there. You can tell that that front bumper is different from our CRS and Nismo versions. Take a look at the rear. You can tell those rear skirts and exhaust detail is definitely different. Next up is going to be the Mini GT. This is also just going to be a V-Spec 2. This one has been swapped with BNDS wheels, chrome RE30s. So stock exhaust on this one, V-Spec 2 badge down here under the tail light, GTR license plate on this one. No opening parts on Mini GTs, but again, great representation of an R34. This one is going to be an Inno64 Jade Green Metallic V-Spec 2 NUR. So V-Specs were geared more towards performance, and then V-Spec 2 stepped up that performance. It's just like a revamped version of a V-Spec. And then V-Spec 2 NURs, which was the only color that this Jade Green Metallic came in. NURs had an upgraded engine, so they had a better long block, more power, built for endurance basically. Again, this one does not have the Z-Tune side skirts or the rears, and you do get the venting on the front bumper there, but it is not a Z-Tune front bumper. This is just going to be a V-Spec 2 front. The Tarmac Schuko collab is going to be Midnight Purple 2, not Midnight Purple 3. This one is going to be an R-Tune version. So you have your Nismo and your R-Tune sticker here. It does say Z-Tune on the license plate, which is unfortunate because it's actually an R-Tune. But this would be the race version of the S-Tune and a like D-Tune version of the Z-Tune. So Really, really great example. This is a beautiful model. This one is a full roller, no issues on this. The Jade Green Metallic does roll, but it's a reluctant roller. Mini GT rolls, no issues. MotorHelix, we know. And then the last one up is going to be the Ignition. This is not a roller either, but this is going to be the CRS model. So you've got your R2 sticker over here, Omari Factory, Rays, Advan, Motul. So let's take a quick look and compare the colors between the MotorHelix and the Ignition. Actually pretty close. I think the Ignition is a more truer representation of the color on a CRS. Pretty close. Very, very, very close. MotorHelixes are going to have metal bases too. The Ignition is going to be a plastic base. So detail is really lacking on this one. Whereas on this one, amazing. Excellent, excellent detail. Let's take a quick look and see, did they give the oil coolers? So they did not put the oil coolers on this one. However, on the R-Tune here, we did get the oil cooler detail. So you can see these guys here. So that's what these are, is they're little oil coolers that go in the rear and catch air coming underneath for cooling. Guys, let me know down in the comments what you thought about the two MotorHelix that we looked at today. Exciting to look at those two after we just saw the video on the 118. Obviously, detail is going to be scaled down a little bit, but to be honest with you, for 164, amazing, amazing job that they did. Got another one coming up for you very quickly. Another MotorHelix opening coming up. We have some RLCs coming. Got some Kaido House, some Tarmacs. So just make sure you guys stay tuned. We'll be keep pumping them out. If you haven't already, don't forget to smash that like button. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will see you all very shortly on the next one. One love.